Hello and welcome to Lunchtime News. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has assented to the NSSF Midterm Access Amendment Bill 2021 to provide midterm access to the contributors and remove restrictions in access for voluntary savings. The presidential assent follows the passing of the NSSF Midterm Access Bill 2021 by Parliament on the 24th of November 2021.
Are different.
The parliamentary debate that has culminated into presidential assent into the NSSF Midterm Access Bill 2021 was on November 24th, when the Committee of the Whole House convened to discuss and pass the report of the Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development on the NSSF bill.
What form of instrument do we want? Do we want to bring this administrative?
The House voted to amend Section 24A of the Principal Act to allow workers who are 45 years and above and have served for at least 10 years to have midterm access of up to 20%, and those with a disability have access to at least 50% of their accrued savings.
We are now saying that a voluntary member has unfettered access, meaning they can access up to 100%.
The NSSF bill was first passed by the 10th Parliament on 17th February 2021, but was returned to the House by President Yoweri Museveni and later retabled in the 11th Parliament. During the debate of the bill, MPs agreed that only mandatory contributors are eligible to midterm access, subject to their age and years of contribution, while voluntary contributors access their savings as and when they so wish, subject to prescribed regulations to be prescribed by the minister in consultation with the board.
It will not apply to voluntary savers because their conditions of access are different.
However, with the presidential assent to the bill, this means that the new law under Section 13A further grants the minister power to prescribe regulations in consultation with the board, the procedure of making voluntary contributions and benefits. A flashback by the Attorney General's submission on the floor of Parliament, he guided that whereas the voluntary contributors will not be subject to terms and conditions under Section 24A as amended, the procedures for them to make their contribution and access their savings will be regulated.
Any statutory instrument which is made which exceeds the powers set in the principles or the sections of the law is null and void and shall not happen on my watch.
The Chief Opposition Whip, John Baptist Nambeshe's proposal to have midterm access for both mandatory and voluntary contributors was overruled by the Speaker of Parliament. The Leader of Opposition, Matthias Mpuga, however, cautioned the executive against enacting statutory instruments that would further make it unfavorable for voluntary savers.
The tendencies in these funds that the delays will become so inordinate.
On the supervisory role of NSSF, Parliament also voted that the Minister of Gender takes the lead in handling social security matters, while Minister of Finance handles only financial and investment of funds. The new law, as assented to by the President, clips the power of the Managing Director by revoking his or her voting right as an ex-officio member of the board to avoid conflict of interest. As past Section 13A of the new NSSF Act provides a tough deferment penalty to employers who deduct a voluntary contribution and fail to remit to the fund. In accordance with the new law, also an employer who offends this section will pay 20% of the amount deducted but not remitted.